Teresa here from All Sewn Up from South East London. Although today it's actually Teresa and Tess from Creating Whitstable. We're just going to present a tiny little video to let you all see how our workshop worked on Saturday. It was a huge success. We had a wonderful class. We had a wonderful time, full of learning, full of designing, full of stitches, but most importantly of all, it was full of fun and laughter. It was wonderful. This piece of work belonged to a lady who came in and announced she couldn't sew and she couldn't do this and she couldn't do that and never did this stitch, never did that. And I kid you not, at the end of the day, she walked out of the workshop as a budding textile artist. She shocked herself. She didn't shock me and she didn't shock Tess, because we've seen it all before and heard it all before, and we winked and we knew that lady, that student, is an artist, and she was. Our table, as all art workshops and all you artists will know, was heavily laden all day with fabrics and colours and textures and threads and students' hands all rummaging through them, and it was absolutely brilliant. I mean, I can't stress enough what a wonderful time Tess and I had. It was such fun. Now this piece, the artist who brought that in had actually started her design at home and had decided to bring it in and use the resources and the things in the room, although I believe she did actually bring her own fabric in. And I'm looking on the screen, I can actually see the marks on the bird's wings, and it notices more on the screen than it did in real life. And in real life, that was absolutely stunning. All the work was to be proud of, and that was no exception. And this is the development of the idea that we saw earlier with the lady who said, can't do this, can't do that, can't do it, and became a textile artist in 5 hours. Look at it, look at the texture on there and the colours, and the strips that you can see towards the top is actually applique. She took a plant, she found some fabric with long leaves on it, and she cut them and she's made her heels from them, and that landscape was once again just stunning. You know, 10 out of 10 to them all. Now anyone who hasn't seen Canary Wharf in London, look at this, because I'm laughing because the artist who did this sat giggling and laughing all day long. Once again she came in and said, can't do this, can't do that, and look what she's produced. It's a dead ringer for Canary Wharf. So if you haven't seen it, all our American friends and our Australian friends, this is what Canary Wharf looks like in London. Absolutely spot on. This wonderful little piece, this is just a little gem. It's a piece of treasure, and it's completely made. It's made from scratch, and it's pinwheel. It's pinwheel stitch over it, and it is quite beautiful. It's small, and it really was like a little gem on this artist's work, and hopefully I think you might see the work in its entirety later on in a few seconds. Absolutely stunning. Oh, now this, I mean, I'm full of praise for them all. This was gorgeous. It's an absolute study in green. Now it's all green apart from the black that you see, and it's textured. So a lot of this is, although it's green, you can differentiate between the greenness because of her use, her design principles of matte against shiny, rough against smooth, and she has captured it beautifully. That is just a fabulous piece of work looking at the design elements. Now, as you can see, these aren't necessarily in order, because this is the piece of work we've just looked at in its making. I should have put that first, really, as the progression of an idea, but you can see the colours are there, and I suppose if you look carefully, you can maybe see the texture on a piece of fabric that she has there, the sort of lemon yellow looking fabric. But that's fabulous, absolutely wonderful. Now, as I said, Tess and I did spend the day team teaching. Tess is very clever with her sewing machine, so I did the stitching, this what I would call the stand-up part, and Tess did one-to-ones. She took all the artists who wanted to use the sewing machine but has never used the machine before. She spent time, and they all had a one-to-one, those who wanted to, and that helped them to sort of pick up pace, because 5 hours to do a wonderful piece of artwork just isn't long enough. A weekend would have been fine. But so any of you who want to come but a bit nervous, don't worry, there are 2 teachers in that room, and we're both there to help and have a good time. This wonderful piece of work here, Study in Blue, was fabulous. Now, if you can see at the top there, it looks like a dark green and white. It isn't. That is a strip of sequins, and the artist there contrasted that beautifully with the matte fabric beside it, and that is the contrast the all sewn uppers are used to hearing about, the contrast, the design elements. Now, back to reality. The course on the 23rd is now fully booked, but we have been asked if we would please put on a Christmas course. So Tess and I are actually planning this at the moment, and she's in the process of negotiating a date, maybe next month, November, or early into December. So as soon as we know that date, we will advertise it, and Tess will contact all you artists who were present and spoke about it on Saturday. Now, there will be a waiting list, and there will be places. We're trying to get more seats, more bums on seats. So hopefully anybody who applies will be offered a place. Okay, lovely to see you all, and we look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Take care and keep safe. Until next time, bye.